So tell everybody what's your name.
Good evening, I'm Louis Lamont.
Just Louis Lamont?
Yeah.
Is that your stage name?
Yes.
Okay.
My sister actually chose that for me. She said, you know you have a name that already sounds Hollywood. I said, what? She said, Louis Lamont.
You think people are going to mistake you for like LL? Louis Lamont? You just leave off the cool J.
Right. No. Because in college, when I did all the plays, it was L. Lewis Smith. Because, there's already a Lewis Smith. He was in North and South, the miniseries. So, I don't want to be confused with him, because we're both good-looking guys.
So you say. What have you been up to?
Just preparing for the move, winding down at the work, all the mundane things, getting a moving company, change of address, trying to figure out health insurance and car registration and all of that.
Wow.
So, but I'm excited. It's a done deal.
Wow. That's crazy. So if you need to know exactly what he's doing, he is a lawyer turning actor, right?
Yes.
But you'll be still practicing law.
No.
Not even when you move there?
No, I'm in for law.
You're just gonna be going to
say
school?
that like Whitney.
You're just gonna go to school?
Yes.
Just go acting school?
Yes, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. So. Okay. And it's the oldest acting school in the English language. I think I said that right. Very prominent graduates. Dennis Haspert's one of my favorites. Lauren Bacall, Robert Redford, Adrian Brody, Anne Hathaway. Could go on.
You could. So you are attaining happiness versus pursuing happiness.
I think I have joy. Because I have joy, happiness is mine.
And it's not from the earth?
No. It's just, enjoying where you are on this journey. It gets frustrating sometimes, but then as we step into the universe and we're doing what it is we desire to do, what we need will come to us, and so will the people that we need. They will come to us.
Basically, the universe is already set up for you.
Yes.
It's already set up. Like, I was telling someone the other day, like, when people plan, God laughs. Yeah. Because everything's already set up for you. And if it's for you, then it'll work out for you. And if it's something that's not for you, don't necessarily give up, but just know what your path is.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. And don't be afraid to walk another path that, may not look too familiar, but you're drawn there.
Right.
There's a reason you're drawn there.
And what's inspiring about your story is the fact that you are a man of a certain age and you're pursuing something that normally people will pursue at a younger age.
Yeah.
Would you like to share what your age is?
I'm closer to 50 than I am 40. No, I just turned 46. But I think what's so interesting with going to La La Land is I'm grateful, I think. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober 5.5 years. Yay. And,
Yay!
No.
I'm sorry. I was like, Ducky here is like, okay, that's normal, that's regular, especially in Hollywood.
Right. But I think going at this age, I know who I am, and what I want, and what I'm willing to do and not willing to do to obtain that. Whereas if I had gone right out of undergrad at 22, 23, I don't think I would have been ready for it. Not the Louis I know.
Well, I guess the plus thing about Hollywood and being an actor, even though you're seasoned locally, I would say, yes, because you done work here, but it's like a double standard with women and men pursuing, that career, because when women get older, unless you like, what's Helen, whatever her last name is, or, certain actresses, that has a good resume is one thing, but men, as they get older, it seems like they get better.
Yeah, and it is a prejudice.
Yeah.
A prejudice in the industry. Most definitely. I mean, even in terms of modeling, been approached to do that, So I get that.
Now, I have some questions. How long have you been practicing law?
8 years.
8 years.
8.5 years.
Now, why do they call it practicing law? I mean, you know,
I have no time for such esoteric thoughts.
I just wonder. You always hear like, "Oh, I practice law." You know, it's like, when are you going to actually start doing it? You didn't practice it. What is practicing law? You don't know?
It's doing law, I guess.
Why do you call it practicing?
I don't know. I really don't. I've never really thought about that.
We'll come back.
We'll come back to that.
We'll find out like what is practicing law. Okay, so let's get into like your foundation because we follow each other on Facebook and you talk about your parents and especially your dad. You and your dad look like y'all have a ton of fun singing in the car and things like that. So it just sounds like you just have a really great support system. So tell us about your parents.
Well, I do. It's always been a matter of sort of like me saying, "Mom and Daddy, this is what I want to do," and they say, "Well, this is what you got to do what you want to do."
Okay. So they let you know the process.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, my dad and I were talking a few years ago, and he said, "Well, you were pretty easy because you always wanted to do something. I just had to guide you to make sure you were doing the right thing."
Mm-hmm. So did they always know that you wanted to go and be an actor?
No.
When did you know you wanted to be an actor?
My freshman year at Dillon University, Central Hicks and Gerald Ivory said, "We need more men to try out for the plays. We don't have enough men."
Mm-hmm.
Like most black colleges, I think then it was 10-1, maybe 12-1 for every male, the female ratio.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried out and I got the part, and then I did a few other parts, but then I did The Gospel According to Miss Rowe, which you
Oh my God, yeah, I remember you did that at our showcase.
Yeah. And that was the part that convinced
That was
me I
amazing.
could act.
You want to do that for us? Not right now, but later.
I think about it. That was the part. And my frat brother, Dale Guidry, I remember I was so reticent about the part because it is a drag queen. And I was really reticent about it.
This is one with the snaps?
Yes.
Okay.
And he said to me, "You have this talent. Stop being afraid of who you are and let your talent be."
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, and that just opened my eyes, and that's when I knew I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
I wanted to do this.
It's levels to the shit, right?
Yeah. And like with my parents, when I told my dad I was going to start acting again locally, he said, "Oh, I wondered when you were going to get back to that. You were really good at it." And then Christmas of 2012, I made up my mind by then that I was going to go to LA.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother gave me the cufflinks of the drama cufflinks, tragedy and comedy, the mask.
Yeah, the mask, yeah.
And she said, "Wear these to your first award show, even if you're just sitting in the audience." So I have that support, you know, just that, you know. And when I was rehearsing for my audition, I called my mom and I said, "Mom, I've been rehearsing an hour every day." And she said, "What's wrong with you?"
That's what you got to do. It's all about preparing.
Yeah, and I know I'm blessed like that.
Mm-hmm. So even if you have talent, you still need to put in the work in preparing for things, you know.
Almost definitely.
Yeah, I really admire people that pursue what they, you know, what their career path is or what their talent is or the arts and entertainment and things like that. Like for me, for instance, like even this, like it's something that I always wanted to do, you know, but then it just stayed in the back of my head, and I was like, you know, I did the radio, you know, the online radio station or whatever.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was great while it lasted. But then, you know, it was like, okay, well, I think it kind of gave me a little push to at least start, you know, and I'm pretty sure I got a lot of learning to do, even editing and what have you. But, you know, I just think that, you know, sometimes you get those words in your head, like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, you can have your parents or anyone tell you whatever, and it's like, oh, it's in one ear and not the other, or whatever. And then when you get those quiet moments, you think about it, you're like, damn, I get it now. Yeah. And you wish that you got it early on, right? But now you get it.
Yes, I understand.
Especially when I turned, you know, at a certain age. Mm-hmm. Like when you turned a certain age, say like 7 years ago. when you turned a certain age 7 years ago, like, did you have one of those moments? Have you ever had like one of those moments, like when you get a certain age, like 30, 40?
Yeah, well, it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily a milestone, tied to a milestone sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you do have those moments when you just realize, I mean, like even, you know, we have so many choices in this country to do so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first got my law degree, you know, there were all these options and choices. I didn't know what to do. I felt so lost, you know, once I got accepted to the bar. And I had to realize the I get it was the whole purpose of getting the law degree is so you would have these choices.
Right.
So stop being afraid of them and make a choice.
You know what I think? I think what a lot of people here in this country, they have a sense of entitlement. Mm-hmm. Where they feel like, you know, they hear America's supposed to be this, you know, and so they feel like everything's supposed to be given to them. And I think that we need a lot of more people that's humble, because you have a lot of immigrants come here and they open up their businesses and things like that, and they, you know, they ball it. Mm-hmm. You know, why can't you do the same thing? Why can't we do the same thing here, naturally?
You know,
and there's nothing to stop in here, and they don't even know the language half the time. Right. But yet still, they open up multiple businesses.
Making that commitment. I don't want to do it.
Right.
You know.
But it just seemed like, you know, what I'm saying, it's like you're on that grind.
Yeah. Why is it that I can't go and see? Because the 2 gas stations by my house are owned by the same family. Mm-hmm. They're back and forth, and there's like about 30 of them. Mm-hmm. You know, but everybody's employed, everybody's working, everybody's building a business.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Y'all gonna save the world. I'm just going to play when I'm.
Did you say y'all gonna save the world?
Yeah, it's time for the young people to save the world. I've done.
Well, you know, we're like close to age, but I appreciate that. We're gonna save the world. We all can save the world. It's never too late for you to save the world too. Look on your cake.
You know, I've done some great things as a lawyer. I've been blessed too. I stood in front of the Detroit Charter Commission, who rewrote what is essentially the city's constitution in 2012. I stood in front of them and I reminded them that Detroit was one of the first major cities to make sexual orientation a protected class, which could not be discriminated against. And I said it's time to add gender expression and gender identity to that list. And they did it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was the only person that spoke on that, and they put it in there. And I helped write ban and box legislation that businesses that do business with the city of Detroit can't have on their job applications within the city of Detroit the criminal history question. At least if the resume looks good, you know, maybe the brother, you meet him in an interview, yeah, when you run your background check, you'll see all that, but at least he's got a chance to impress you in the interview. Mm-hmm. You know, I helped write the Detroit Police Department's LGBT policy.
Okay.
So I can walk away from law saying it's okay.
And then you got some things under your belt. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And so that makes it, you know.
You know, but you done some things, so the world should be proud. All right. TV magic. So what's do you have any other talents?
No.
Other than acting and practicing law?
No, that's it. Right?
No singing?
Oh no.
No?
No. I've accepted that a long time ago.
I don't know, you've been singing in those cars lately.
But my dad can really sing, that's what gets me.
Could he?
Yeah. You sing or play an instrument?
No.
Really?
In my head. In my head I could.
Which ones?
Which one's what?
Instrument.
Oh, I was going to which one head. You was goofy. No, not instruments, but I can sing in my head. Like when I'm at work, I think everybody think that I can sing. I really feel that they're my audience.
Really?
When I be singing along with the radio or my iPod or something like that. I really be like really going in. I don't be loud, but they can hear me because in our office, like just everything carries or whatever. And you know, I'll be doing those runs and stuff. Oh yeah, I go with it. I do my whole
know what a run is.
Yeah, I know what a run is. something like that. What's that's a run.
It's a scale.
Give me an example.
I don't know. I just heard somebody else say that, and I was repeating it.
See? All right.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right,
But my parents tried really hard. We had piano lessons. I had an electric guitar. My sister had the electric keyboard, clarinet, trumpet, but we just did not take to it at all.
No.
Even with my dad, sometimes he'll say some outrageous stuff, and sometimes it just makes me say, "Oh my God, I'm so glad my mother is not married to you anymore."
They divorced? I thought they were still together for some reason.
Oh no! Oh hell no!
I thought they was
Hell no!
cookies.
No, that's just at Christmas, and they ain't together.
Oh, okay.
They're friends.
Okay.
You know, they're not like Judy's, you know, what's up and stuff, but they're friends. So we can all be together during the holidays.
Okay.
Oh God, no! My parents were married.
I always
20
imagine that your parents are still. They've
years.
been married for 70 years.
No.
And y'all had this like. Y'all make gingerbread cookies on Christmas.
No. You know, I used to think my parents were popular in the 70s. My dad was the... Oh, I shouldn't say that.
No, you might watch this. You'll talk about it off camera.
Anyway, they were very 70s in the 70s.
Like hippies?
Not hippies, just real cool, like blaxploitation with the, you know, all that.
The Pam Grier thing?
Yes, and my mother was, oh God, she was statuesque.
Really?
Yeah, she's 6 feet, she had one of these platforms.
I was going to ask you how tall your parents were, because you're pretty tall.
Yeah.
Their dad and moms?
Yeah, my mom is 6 feet or 5'12", because she says me in the
5'12"?
Yeah, she said me and find that less intimidating.
Okay.
They're too stupid to know it's 6 feet.
Go, mama.
And my dad is 6'6".
Wow.
My sister's 5'10", so.
Is it just you and your sister?
Yeah.
Okay. What do your sister do?
She is working on going back to school to get her master's. She just graduated from Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte this past May. Bachelor of Social Work, and she's going to be starting her master's program in January.
Okay.
And she went to her MSW, and then she wants to open a series of elder care homes. So.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On everything. All right, let's go to some other questions. All right. Did you tell me your resume on acting? Did we talk about that today?
Did we? I don't think so.
Like, what have you done? I know you said the one with the drag queen.
Oh God. I did the Pearl Fishers, the opera. I was a priest in that.
Now, was that a stage play?
Yeah, at the Michigan Opera Theater.
Okay. How long did that run?
They typical 2-week run.
Okay.
Now, and that was you know, I didn't have any speaking lines, but it was being so big.
You were a tree.
And that was great. And then with Stagecrafters, I've done the Meanwhile Back on the Couch. And that was fun. That was a great play. I did that with Alan Longstreet from Fox 2 News, Weatherman. He's a friend of mine too, and we did that together. So that was fun. I did Showtime's Low Winter Sun when that was here. I was an extra on there, and featured extra. So that was really good too.
Cool.
Being on the set, you know, having to do something over and over, making it fresh every time. And it's amazing. It's so amazing that it took us 3 hours to film 3 minutes.
How do you work like rehearsals and because you know during the time he's doing these practicing off. How do you work? How do you find the time?
Oh, you just do. You make time. And what's so interesting about Detroit has a rich theater history and a rich theater fabric here. I mean, there's so much. There's a young lady I know who works at the county in the city of Detroit, And she gets on the stage and she opens her voice and it's just like, who are you? I mean, and you just think these people who build these cars, who teach our kids, who do whatever, all this talent is still here in Motown.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
You never know who you walking beside and what they can do.
Yes.
Regardless of how they're dressed or what have you.
Oh,
I learned that so much, especially when I was working at the radio station. Just so many people that I have never met that came in or whatever, and just listen to their stories is amazing.
Okay. Yes. I mean, this is an amazing place. Yeah. You know, people keep saying, "Oh, you getting out of Detroit?" And I said, "No. I'm simply going to where the opportunity is. If that opportunity was here in Detroit, I would stay here."
Right.
There's a difference between running away from something and running to something.
Which is, I hate when these kids be talking something, "Oh, I'm moving to Atlanta."
Yeah. You know, and I'm just thinking, all this money is to be made here. These people are coming in. I don't want to make it a race thing, but people who are not look like me and you, who don't even look like the Polish neighbors we grew up with, are coming here and putting money here. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to do my part because I'm going to put some money.
They saying like I saw in the news, I can't remember what year it was, but it was like maybe 5 years possibly, that Detroit is going to be one of the #1 vacation spots.
Oh yes, I believe it. I believe it.
And I'll be in the summertime because I wouldn't want to vacation here in the wintertime.
Well, at first I came for winter vacation. He originally is from Paris, lives in Toronto, and he said this was the best winter vacation he ever had.
Really? Was it cold?
Yeah, it was cold.
Really?
I took him ice skating.
That's what I was going to ask you. What did you do?
We went ice skating. I took him to the Museum of African American History, Detroit Historical Museum. We went to the Motown Museum. Went to Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Pizzapopolis.
All of Detroit.
Yeah, and they happened to be doing Kwanzaa. So we went to some of the Kwanzaa celebrations in the LGBT community. And, oh God, even the lesbians loved him because he had that French accent. So he could say what he looks on.
Oh, he got an accent.
Yeah, so natural. Right. A black man with a French accent, he is fine. But still, get away from him, lesbian.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
But he said that was one of the best vacations he had ever had.
Yeah.
You know? And I just think there's so much, you know, that this city, you know, you just get the monitor and look in there, or the Metro Times.
It is. It's a lot of talent in here because I know like a lot of open mics that I went to, you know, it's just amazing the amount of talent that Detroit have or whatever. And I really wish that we could be put on the map a little bit sooner. I mean, I feel that it's happening, but I wish that it was going a little bit faster. Yeah. Because I tell you, like, Detroit, it's always on this cypher, I feel like. And sometimes when it gets down here, it goes a little bit too slow. Yeah. You know, before it gets here, then a Kilpatrick come in. And right. We gonna talk about that. Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, let's talk about like current things. Let's talk about, and I'm pretty sure you had this conversation probably with amongst your friends and things like that. Mike Brown, the Ferguson situation, the guy in New York got choked up. What advice would you give a young black man that after seeing what's happening in our nation?
It's so interesting that that's even a question that has to be asked.
I know.
You know, that's the sad part.
I know.
That is the sad part. My father, my mother, my sister, my sister's 2 sons, and I were all having this conversation the Sunday after Thanksgiving about what to do when the police approach you. But I can take it back to 1997 when I was living in DC, and a friend of mine who's of European descent had got stopped by the police and everything, and then we were talking about getting stopped by the police, and learning to drive and everything. And I said, remember that part of the driving lesson your father said what to do when the police stop you?
Mm-hmm.
And all of them looked at me like, no, what? And I'm like, and when it dawned on me, white people didn't have to worry about what to do when the police stopped.
Exactly.
And so, this is historical things. And I think what's so unfortunate, especially with a lot of the media reporting, is we forget what this is about. It is about due process.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if Mike Brown had robbed that store or not. Fact is, he was denied his day in court. Doesn't matter if Eric Gardner had that cigarette or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was denied his day in court. Why is it that guy can shoot up a movie theater? He's apprehended. Guy can shoot up the SWAT team. He's apprehended. They all have white skin, but all the black ones, all the black ones, suspects are dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's about due process. So don't get it twisted. It's not about black on black crime. It got nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about white, what's the word I want to use? Liberalism.
Mm-hmm.
It got nothing to do with that. It is simply due process has been denied. And anytime Antonio Scalia, Supreme Court Justice, the most conservative justice there is, can see that, it is a real problem.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So I'm still waiting on that advice. No, that was good though. That was good.
For real though.
Like if it's say like
keep your mouth shut.
17-year-old boy walk up to you and say that he's 6'3", and he walks up to you and he's venting to you about this situation. Mm-hmm. Like what would you tell anybody that's driving around in a car and they get stopped by the police? What do you tell them? What do you do? Especially if you black and you know that you're being profiled.
Right.
What do you tell them to do? What is the steps?
Roll down your window, put both your hands outside the car, let the officer see it. Don't reach for anything until he tells you to. And listen to him. Don't have an attitude. And know what your rights are.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to search the car, you say, am I being arrested?
Right.
Because you can't search the car unless you're being arrested.
Mm-hmm. And what about the process? What do you feel about the process? Well, it's interesting that the media shows the violence, protest, that looting, things like that, and they don't show the peaceful things or whatever. But give me what you feel as far as when they protest, and do you feel that it's actually helping something? Like, you protest today, what happens tomorrow? What happens a week from now? When because a lot of people, you don't hear about Trayvon Martin no more unless something like this just happened. You know what I'm saying? It gets forgotten a little bit.
I think those protests are very necessary. I think they speak to the seriousness of this problem, that it's not just going to fade away unless we deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing, that people have to realize.
You want to say switch seats?
No, thank you. Is that change happens over a course of time with applied pressure. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying let's wait, but what I'm saying, there are hundreds of nonprofits starving for volunteers. Nonprofits which do great things. That's where the change comes. Mm-hmm. That's where Mike Brown might have a Boys and Girls Club he could have went to say, don't matter what the storm you did, don't do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Brown is innocent, let me say that. I'm just saying, all this other ancillary stuff, there's a way to deal with it. There's a way to get at working on the racism issue. But people have got to say, because it just pains me when I have so many friends, they go to work, they come home, they party. They go to work, they come home, they party. when there's so many nonprofits that I've been on the board of or I've been a part of that I've had to let go because I wasn't being fair to them, even though they needed me, but I had committed to this nonprofit, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean when I said there's so much work to be done. It's not just about holding that sign, which is very important, but when you leave there, what nonprofit am I going to dedicate my time to that will effectuate a permanent change?
And that's my point. That's my point. Because you can do a photo shoot and say like, oh, I was here.
Right.
But when you leave there, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could talk about it, you could debate, but then what do you do?
Right.
You know.
Exactly. And you don't have to create the new wheel. You know, there's Equality Michigan here, there's KIC, there's Empowerment. I'm just naming the LGBT ones, but the United Way,
right?
The Friends of First Museum, that's at my church, on the road. But I'm just saying, there's so much to do that will effectuate a change. And it's just right there. And change isn't given.
Now you mentioned some charities and things like that. Do you think that the outlook on charities has changed over the years? Because you hear about a lot of scams.
Yeah, it's unfortunate too because it hurts a lot of the smaller ones.
It makes you not trust.
Yeah, it makes you not trust them. You know, but then too, it's disappointing because I'm no fan of the Salvation Army. You know, and I say, do you realize to the bell ringers that you are ringing a bell for an organization which endorses discrimination? And I just walk off. I refuse, you know, the Salvation Army.
Yeah, Jermaine was telling me about that. They discriminate and things like that. All right, let me see. Okay. Oh, here's the question. So, we talk about some serious. Let's go back to the acting thing. All right, so tell me.
Are you saying my acting career isn't serious?
No, it is serious.
You just said we were talking about some serious stuff. Now let's go back to acting. Like that's not serious. Okay. I'm sorry.
I want to know, like, when you first told your friends, colleagues, or your family, what was their reaction when you first told them? Well, you told me what your dad said. He said, "I've been waiting." You know. Well, what about like your colleagues?
Some people, everybody was supportive. You know, are you sure that's what you want to do? A couple of people thought it was crazy, but they were older people. You're like, you paid all that money for your law degree. I'm like, yeah. You still there.
It ain't going nowhere.
Right. And right. And, but everybody has pretty much been supportive. What is so very interesting though, especially from my colleagues, even from acquaintances that I might see at the gym. This is one guy at the gym that was always like, hey, what's up, how you doing? But you know, I tell people, because you never know who God is going to use to bless you with the blessing. And this one guy, he asked me like something every day, how you doing with the moves at school, And we never really talked before. And he just said last week, man, I'm kind of living vicarious through you. Not that I want to be an actor, I just got this dream and I never get for it. And I don't know if I could, but I'm living vicariously through you. And I get a lot of that.
That is great.
I get a lot of that. And so, of course, everything I have to do has to be for me first and foremost. I learned that in AA, you know.
But when you're doing great things and people see it, it inspires them.
Right, that's what I already said. But I realized that this is for them too.
And that's what this is for. That's what this is for. Because when you think of you being a senior citizen and you pursuing acting, all of a sudden, I'm just joking.
You're not gonna get me out. This ain't 60 minutes.
But you just think about it, you know. You know that you carry around your AARP card, and now that you're gonna be having an Actors Guild, do they have a card?
Yeah.
So you got all these A cards, you use for my hall. So A is your ladder. You know, so it's inspiring to know that it's not too late to pursue your dreams and your aspirations and things like that. And I think anyone looking at this, I hope that they get something from it. You know, like I was saying earlier, I get it now. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
You get it. You get it.
Me too.
It's so simple words. You know.
Me too. Oh my God, this is so crazy, but I'm doing it. Yes.
So you should set up a GoFundMe account.
I don't know. That just seems so. I don't know.
I was even thinking like I'm gonna get Lewis a basket, a runaway basket. It's gonna be like Detroit stuff. And I was like thinking like give him some burgers, give him some White Castle. But then one thing, get the California might be bad. You know, just like maybe I get like a White Castle's gift card. Do they have White Castles in California?
I don't know.
I don't know how you do that. They put on some dry ice or something.
Dry ice.
Do you drink burgers?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know, maybe one of those ginger ale persons.
Oh God.
So let me ask you this. How would you handle the casting couch?
I think I'm just beyond all of that. It'd be like, really? No, I couldn't be a porn in Detroit. No.
Like they had like the biggest role for you.
No. I just, I stay on my morals and values.
That's good.
At least when it comes to my career, that's... Stop.
What?
I'm just saying. I mean, you ever know somebody that could get it if they would just stop conniving to get it?
I'm not answering that question.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But I know what you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. It's like if you just stop playing games, you know, you really don't have to go through all that.
Right.
You know,
but that's turning me off.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
That was related to something you said. I can't remember what. Oh, the casting couch.
Which was like 2 minutes ago. We just said it. How the hell are you gonna remember lines? You can't even remember a question that I asked like 30 seconds ago.
I did.
Okay. What is your greatest desire?
That my work helps people. That it really helps people. Like Gloria Rubin, when she did the HIV storyline on ER and dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm HIV positive, and that helped me deal with it, watching her.
Mm-hmm.
It really did. I would come home from work, I was a waiter then, come home from work, and I would just watch it and see what she was dealing with, and it helped me come to terms.
Yeah.
And go get therapy and finally really deal with it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I hope that my work touches people like that in that regard.
That is so excellent. That is. That is. That is. What do you know for sure?
God loves me, and I'm beautifully created. And that's not, some bullcrap. That's what I know. I know. There are these times when I'm wrapped up in all the love I've ever known, and I just feel it. No matter what's going on down around in my head and stuff, God loves me, and God is not out there. God is from within here. I don't believe in a God that sits high and looks low. That works for you, wonderful.
Right.
But I don't know that God. God, I'm free to worship a God of my own understanding, and I wish the same for others.
That's great. Well, this is Louis Lamont Smith on Material Matters Media. This was a great interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Louis Lamont, and I love making it matter with Material Matters.